Gentleman from Colorado, Mr. Perlmutter, who is also the chair of the Subcommittee on Consumer Protection and Financial Institutions, is now recognized for 5 minutes.
Thank you. Good morning, and thank you, too, for your service. I'm way over here today. Couple things. I'm listening to the publicans talk about inflation, but I think a more important topic we should be talking about is the fact that since the ex-president Trump was defeated by Joe Biden in November of last year, we've added almost 6 million jobs, some 620,000 jobs per month. And we've seen the stock market rise from 26,000 to 36,000. Now it's backed off to about 35,000 in the last year at $1.4 billion per point. It's almost up $13 trillion since Joe Biden won the election last year. We've seen GDP up dramatically over the last year. And my friends, I appreciate that the Republicans want to talk about inflation because that's all they can talk about. So I'd like to ask my first question of you, Secretary Yellen. Unemployment is falling at the fastest rate in 50 years and is now at 4.6%. Prior to the American Rescue Plan passing, the Congressional Budget Office projected it would take until the fourth quarter of 2023 to get to 4.6% unemployment. So we're 2 years ahead. Madam Secretary, my question is on Build Back Better, and how will it help in terms of the recovery and create more opportunities for everyday Americans?
Well, thank you for that question. Build Back Better is really focused on addressing long-term issues in our economy that have been holding back economic growth and contributing to economic inequality. An important aspect of Build Back Better is what it does for children and households with children. 2 years of universal early childhood education for 3- and 4-year-olds, and subsidies for child care to make quality child care affordable for the great majority of households, along with a continuation, at least for a year, of the child tax credit that has made it possible for so many families to support the needs of their children, keep roofs over their heads, and diminished food insecurity. And these child care provisions, as well as other parts of the program, should serve to boost labor force participation, particularly of women, where we've lagged behind most other developed countries. And research suggests that our failure to provide adequate child care and paid family leave is an important contributor. In addition,
let me change the subject for 1 second, just to a subject that I've asked both of you about in the past, the Safe Banking Act, which involves allowing financial institutions to provide financial services to the cannabis industry and those that serve the cannabis industry. And you may know that we passed it with big bipartisan votes out of this committee, off the floor to the Senate last cycle. This cycle, we amended the National Defense Authorization Act. So that's just to remind you where we are. In October, Cassidy Collins, a senior counsel in the Office of the Chief Counsel of the IRS, noted the special type of collection challenge the IRS undertakes regarding tax collection from cannabis-related businesses forced to operate in cash only. It's estimated that in just 3 states, nearly $50 million in taxes went unassessed because of unique issues surrounding the cannabis industry. Madam Secretary, do you agree if these businesses were simply allowed to access the banking system and didn't have to transact business only in cash, it would make the IRS's job easier?
yes, of course it would.
I yield back.
The gentleman yields